Welcome, everybody. Another beautiful edition of Scl Weekly. We have a couple of special guest hosts this week. Kip Paul and Colio123. I'm your host, Johnny Benson. We will get it started here, kicked off, start talking about SCL Season 18 and Speed Week. We'll welcome in our other guest host here. How you doing, Colio?
I'm great.
Great to hear you, and you got your pap sitting next to you. What's going on? Yep.
Yes, sir. Ready to talk it up.
And talk it up we will. First off, we're going to start, we've had awesome Speed Week so far. We've had some great racing in the Winston Cup Series. Start off Speed Week with Daytona 500 qualifying. We're live on the website here showing you guys how you can access it through the standings page. I click there. And then go ahead and hit the Sunday Cup. That's our page here for season 18. And we'll roll over to the results page and we'll take a look here. We had a bunch of qualifiers for Daytona 500 qualifying. 17 of them with Kip and Cap guys sitting on the pole, as you know that from our last episode. How do you feel about putting the car on the front row for the Daytona 500, Kip? That's got to be a good feeling.
Oh, that's always a good feeling. Daytona is one of those tracks where it's either with you or it's not sometimes. But yeah, that was a great feeling. And I'll tell you, I only beat Cat Guy out by, I think it was 1/1000th of the second, or 2/1000th of the second, or something like that. It was very close.
Yep, you guys had two 48 cars that are pretty damn identically prepared. And Colio did awesome qualifying for us on a controller. A couple of guys on a controller there, Rocky, a little lower than he thought he would be. But then we went on to the next Sunday and we ran well, first off we had our Saturday event with the Busch Flash. That was for all former event winners and past champions. Chip and Cole couldn't make it. They had other things going on, but we had an awesome race. Milwaukee led damn near all the event. He led the first two segments of it. We had a 30-lap segment and a 20-lap segment. Milwaukee pretty much dominated those. I was pushing him a lot. He had a couple other guys up there pushing him, but Carlin was working with him. The first two segments, that looked pretty good. Then we had that third segment, last 10 laps with no cautions. And we had about 8 guys at the end there that were all really gunning for it. Devil Dog had a couple of connection issues, and that cost Norm and Vinny a little bit. But other than that, man, some real close, great racing. After that happened, we were down to about 6 guys. Me, Roland, Milwaukee, Carlin, Spearhead, and Bud. It was came down to the last couple of laps there. Milwaukee was being pushed by Carlin down low with Bud following him. And I was pushing the crap out of Roland, but we were just hanging back in the high line waiting for it. And coming through 3 and 4 on that last lap is when you got to make your move. And I just got right up, hooked up behind that other 48 car, and we went around the top. We had 43 gearhead pushing, and I had enough momentum to clear both of those guys on the bottom. Some in the second place. So Roland picked up his first Busch Flash. I think it's the first time he's been in the Busch Flash, so awesome run for him. Milwaukee told me he preheated him all the way, and he didn't even know that he up.
Yeah. Hey, he liked that term preheat.
He likes the term preheat. He got preheated for sure. But
yeah, congrats to Roland too. Congrats to Roland for sure, because I don't think he's ever ran the Busch Clash, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he had a great first appearance in the Busch Clash, and for his first run for his new regulator racing team, and they put it in the book, first one out. So they did an awesome job.
Yeah, regulator racing's doing real well. We gave them a couple loaner 48s that we had in the building, and I think they went through them and they did a great job.
Yeah, they were looking good for sure. Sitting on second place for the 500 pole and winning the Busch Clash. They had awesome 2 weeks so far. But then we get to Sunday. We had our two 125-mile qualifier races. Those guys were set from this field here for the qualifying into our 2125. The first 125 race, they were held simultaneously. But the guys in the first race, Chip started on the pole, Gamble was second, Vinny was third, Carlin was fourth, Big Dog, Remy, Flinty, Gooch, and Gearhead.
Yeah, the race was a pretty good race all in all. You know, Daytona is Daytona. Sometimes it works out well, sometimes it doesn't. But I'll tell you the truth, the track prevailed. It ran real good. Gooch was out front quite a little bit, or up in the pack quite most of the time, as well as Carlin, myself too. We had a little, you know, sometimes you get a little close running the middle and the outside, and we had a little wall touch, not a caution. Kind of lost the draft for the camber. I laid back to get him. We picked the pack back up, and the rest of the race was pretty good. Like I said, we may have had another caution or so, but other than that, it was a very good race. Twindy, the rookie in there, this guy, like I say, on a controller, hey, he was up front to the back a couple, 2 or 3 different times. It just shows you that Daytona is workable even with the controller. In the end, though, it came down to Carlin was in front. I was behind him. Vinny was behind me. Vinny also, I must say, ran a great race. Vinny used to have a little issues holding the bottom, but it seems like they tweaked that car up, and he was holding it really well. We were going for the finish. I could have stayed behind Carlin for the win easy enough, but me and Vinny laid back. We sucked him up a little. I went to go up. Naturally, he came up the block just a hair, but not enough. I actually got around him, but it was my own fault. I just kind of nicked the wall a little, which naturally slowed me down. I didn't have time to tuck in behind him. Vinny played it smart, sucked him up when he noticed I hit the wall, and I ended up third. But, hey, you got to go for it, right?
Yeah, going for it's the name of the game.
Correct. But all in all, great race, great racing, no accidents, you know, for guys not liking each other. You know how it is. Guys get a little PO'd at each other once in a while, but it was all clean racing, very good.
Well, you know, save that stuff for the short tracks. I mean, big, fast, high banks, that's no place to be dumping people.
Correct.
Everybody did a great job. It looks like Carlin came home with a victory for JME Motorsports, and then he put in the ESA Chevrolet number 24 right in the second place. Any other fun words there for that first win?
No, actually, everyone. I'm telling you, I'm giving props to every single driver. Every single driver was very respectful and drove just as good as they could.
Yes, that was, we had definitely had some fun there for those wins. And looking at the club page here, with our finishing order for the first win. Like I said, Vinny second, real close, 0.08, 0.080 gap. And then, you know, on Sunday Cup League, you kind of air kick. He scraped the wall a little bit. Back behind them, Remy holding in there, you know, real close. Probably just really lost the draft there in the last couple laps. A couple of back markers. But these guys did a great job trying to get into the 500. I know, I don't think J-Dog didn't make it into the 500 from this event, but he did an awesome job of trying. It'll be good next time, obviously. Then we had our other 125. That was one that me and Colio were in. That guy was supposed to be sitting on the pole for this event. He could not make it, so we moved Colio up onto the pole there, bumped me in the second. We had a pretty good race going. You want to describe what happened there in the opening lap, Colio?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The second Twin 25, which was hosted at the same time, it actually worked out really well. We had a lot of great racing. It was actually really similar to the first Twin, and I think there was about three cautions that were obviously accidental, just happened. But I was sitting right next to Kip. Obviously, we played in the same house, in the same room, and everything. And almost every caution we all had at the same time. It was really kind of weird. I thought it was kind of cool though, but it was kind of weird. But big props to MDR PSC. We call him Scrappy in the races most of the time instead of saying PSC. He is a rookie. This is his first ever Winston Cup race, and he actually did really well. He hung out back for quite a while just to kind of get used to the feel of the car, especially around other people. Eventually, just circumstantially, he ended up being up in about second and third place, sometimes fourth. And I know at one point I was behind him and he was in third, and he was having a few bobbles, just getting used to the car. And I wasn't really pushing too hard because we weren't really close to the end yet. But I let him in and just let him get the feel. And eventually he was able to really hold his ground quite well. What do you think about him?
Yeah, I was up there leading at that point. I think he was in second, and I could see him back there. He was, he wasn't trying to make runs to the inside, but he was kind of letting the car go wherever it wanted to, kind of feeling it out. And you were making some better moves back there, letting him off and letting him get right up to where he was supposed to be, back up into the high line. That really prevailed. I mean, I don't know how the first race went, Kip, but it seemed like in the second race, man, everybody was up in that high lane unless everybody felt real comfortable up there, and they didn't
Yeah,
want to get down
absolutely.
on the bottom one.
Yeah, our race was pretty somewhat similar, but uh, with the exception of sometimes there was a bottom and a middle instead of a middle and a top. You
Yep.
know, and also at one point for several laps it was single file for some reason. You just never know what people are thinking at Daytona. You know, and the other thing I wanted to point out real quick while we're talking about both of them, if you go to the actual points standings of that race on the screen there, Johnny. Um, you guys see the highlighted in orange? We got to give props to anybody that does that. Hey, Remy got the fastest lap. That's what that means, is the fastest lap. Remy got the fastest lap in the first race. And as they was talking about how good Scrappy did, the rookie gets the fastest lap in the second race. So there you have it.
Yeah, he had an excellent run. We all know how we get separated and strung out and stuff. And he just happened to be at the back, but not just the fact that he was at the back, he was able to hold on to the car at that such high speed of 190 mile an hour around the corner and
Yep.
ended up pulling off the fastest lap.
Yeah, that was awesome. He was hanging out back there, and when you hang out in the back, that's a good way to pick up that fastest lap. Hopefully, you can get back up toward the end of it. But it looked like about 10 laps to go, man. Everybody started jockeying. We got out of single file mode, and we were jockeying. Everybody was shooting down low, trying to make passes. It was really good. A couple of us had problems. Me and Roland and Scrappy all ran out of gas there at the end. I know I was about 3 wide, stopped down in the middle with the car behind me when I ran out of gas, and I was trying to wave my hand up in the air, but nobody could see me, trying to get to the outside lane. And Tony jumped up behind me, Tony Moose, and tried to push me. He didn't know I was out of gas. I'm yelling over the mic, I'm out of gas, I'm out of gas. So it was crazy at the end there. That kind of separated it a little bit more. And it looked like it was between you and Milwaukee at the end there. You want to tell me how the last couple of laps between you and Milwaukee?
It was a walkie and myself, but we can't forget to mention that Tony, Normal, and let me check real quick. I believe, yeah, Tony and Norm, they were both at-large entries. They weren't actually a part of the original two-lap qualifying, but there was leftover spots open, and so they were able to get into the twins in order to get into the 500. But they actually had a little pack going on at the very end within the last 5 laps or so, and not only were Wilkie and I battling, they were catching up to us, and I didn't know if they were actually going to catch up to us or not, but they actually ended up not catching up to us, but it was close. I'm telling you, another lap and they would have had it.
That's not very far.
No, absolutely not. And plus, I think they bobbled on the very last lap.
Yeah, it looks like Norm might have had an issue, but he came home with fourth. Those guys had to finish in the top four to make it in because they didn't have any points to fall back on. They didn't qualify time. So third and fourth is where they had to do. Just like that guy, he had to sit on the pole and gain out this week. And Norm and Tony did what they had to do. Third and fourth, they're in the 500.
That's correct. Yeah. And if you'd like a rundown of the 500, I can go through that if you like.
You can go ahead and give us how that's all going to play out for the start of the 500 this Sunday.
That's correct. The 500 is this Sunday. We all can't wait. It's going to be exciting. The pole naturally goes to Kip's hauling ass, as we talked to earlier. Cat guy sits on the outside. He got the second fastest time. Like we say, the top two qualifiers of the original are always guaranteed into the race, whether they race the twins or not. It's just that you don't get points if you don't race the twins. So it goes Kip's, Cat guy, and then Carlin Hicks. Hey, he won a twin. He's starting third. May win the 500. We got a Wokey, been a multiple Winston Cup champion, starting fourth. Vinny's a rookie, but I'm telling you now, look at his results in the first race. Vinny showed promise. I'm telling you, before he had issues holding the bottom, he's got that car working right. Colio 1, 2, 3. What can we say? The last two seasons, he's won the championship for Cup. So don't count him out by any means. Finishing second to a Wokey in the second race. Remy's won several races all across the board in different series. You can never count Remy out. He's got a fast car. Look, he got the fastest lap in his twin. Twindy, upcoming rookie. Can't tell you much about him other than he's getting better and better. He is on a controller, but he's getting better, and he showed promise in the twin. He was in the front, like I said, went to the back a couple times, back to the front. Johnny Benson. Never count out Johnny Benson, especially since the speed equipment actually got some new equipment. And man, has he been on fire. He won the GND championship last season. So don't think he can't get into the Cup. Roland is a seasoned driver. He's kind of new to our league a little bit, but he is a seasoned driver. He's raced a lot outside of our club. Roland is going to be in there. Don't think so. Don't think he won't unless he gets caught up in something. Gooch is a guy that always has to be in the front. So don't count him out for anything. Gooch will do whatever it takes to be the first car on any given lap. So he will definitely be in there. DeCamber's part of Team Danamore. He's got several wins. He won a GND championship before.
Hey, lost by 1 point to Johnny Benson last season.
That's correct. Lost by one point to Johnny Benson. Hey, he's got the strategy and the know-how. We'll see what happens. Gearhead, the guy that surprised us all. He's, I think he's won how many 500s, Johnny?
He's got one.
He's got one 500 win.
He's got one 500 win, but he's got multiple major Daytona event wins.
That's correct.
He's cleaned up in the late model series.
Correct. Hey, but he surprises us. He brings the 43 Ford out. We don't know why. We haven't figured it out yet. But, hey, there may be a reason for this, and we're going to see. We're going to see.
He looked good
Tony Moose.
In the Busch Clash. He looked really good in that 43.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they know something we don't. You know, you never know. Now, Tony Moose has been with this league for an eternity. Tony has won just oodles of races. You believe me, if Tony's and a former Cup champion. That's right, former Winston Cup champion. You think you're going to count Tony Moose out, you better think again. Normal was been with us for a few seasons, left for a little bit, come back. Norm can drive. Believe me, he can drive. You just got to watch. Hey, look, I'm going to tell you right now. You take Tony and Norm both. They were non-qualifiers that came in
and had to make the show
by running in the top four. They pulled it off. So why can't they be in the top in the end of this?
Yep, they did awesome. The reason they got a start in the back is because they did not qualify, so that's kind of their penalty for not making the qualifying run. We want to put a big shout out to J-Dog 2782, MGR PSC, and Super 8, Super 8 1221. Those guys all put up a great effort. Obviously, Scrappy did an awesome job winning the fastest lap point and everything, but those guys did not have enough points to fall back for the provisional in the field, so they will be going home. Obviously, they'll be racing probably Saturday night in the Grand National, Winston West, IndyCars. Those guys will be back and they'll be fighting again, but they're not going to be in the 500. We have a really strong field for this 500 coming up Sunday. It's going to be an awesome race.
Correct. I would like to say real quick before we move on, because I know we have to, but those guys, in the orders they finished, are alternates in case somebody doesn't show up.
Yep.
I'll give a quick rundown on just how we're standing on points in general after the Daytona 125s. We have Carlin Hicks and Awoki tied for first with 32 points. Colio 123 and Vindictive were tied for third and fourth with 28 points. We have Kip's Hauling Ass with 27 points. He picked up a bonus point for the original Daytona 500 qualifying, so that's why he's not tied with Tony Moose with 26 points. Remy got a bonus point. He's in 7th place with 25 points. Normal, 8th place, 24 points. Super 8, 22 points. Although he's not going to make it into the 500, he's still got points for when he's going to race in the future points events in the Winston Cup Series. We also have 20 to round out the top 10 with 22 points.
Real close field. Really close. Obviously, those guys like Super and Scrappy and J-Dog, they will not make it into 500, but they got points to fall back on if they need provisional starts in any of these other races that we got going on. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, definitely going to be a close points championship.
Yep, for sure. Let's talk about some of the more upcoming races. That's our Class 1 event, being the Daytona 500, probably our biggest race of the season. Let's talk about one of the biggest IndyCar races, probably only second to the 500. That is our US 400 coming up on Friday night. We put this event up a little bit ago. Looks like we've already got 3 people signed up. Again, Super 8, Twindy, Johnny Benson, those guys that want to come back and race again. We got former champions here. Looks like we got Smoke Show, Gooch, Carlin Hicks. Last season it was Kip, so he's going to see if he can win 2 in a row, right, Kip?
Absolutely. I'll be trying.
Absolutely. So these are in the club events. Class 1 drivers are eligible to run that race. And we've got IndyCar qualifying. You guys are going to want to sign up for this. When it opens up, go ahead and run your 2 laps. No timestamps after 6:20 on Friday night before the race is going to open up Thursday night. So that's the other Class 1 race. We got Grand National is going to be Saturday night. That's our other Class 2 race. The other Class 2 race, other than that, we don't have the Grand National up quite yet, but it'll be up here in a matter of days, that being Saturday night race. Our other Class 2 race, being the Open Wheel Series, is our IndyCar California 40. You want to go ahead and talk about that, Colio being the commissioner of the series and the Indy Lights?
The Indy Lights, those are basically just trying to represent a smaller scale Indy car. We used the 1983 West Surrey Racing Ayrton Senna car, and let me tell you, it's just a great all-around car. Very neutral feeling. It's not super loose. It's not super tight. It's really a good all-around car for just about any experience level driver. And I really think that people enjoy this car. We usually have great attendance for this series, and this season, as all other seasons, have very fast tire wear due to the fact that the car does not exactly wear tires as fast as it seems like it should, but that's just because the car is super light, not a lot of horsepower, but there may be pit stops needed in a lot of these road course races coming up in the Indy Lights series.
Yeah, Indy Lights is going to be fun. Before that event, we're going to run our Indy Kart race in the club lobby. That's also at Mazda Laguna Seca, just like the Indy Lights are. That's always fun when they go to Mazda Laguna Seca for those cars. We'll go ahead and look at the schedule here. Scroll down to the bottom where we got our Indy cars. They are going to be at Mazda Raceway for a 10-minute event at 6:45 tonight. So if you're watching this live or catching it on Tuesday, if before 6:45, still got a chance to make it into that one. That's again going to be in the club lobby. And one of the club events tonight at 7:15, or as soon as we get the carts event wrapped up and we start this event, is the California 40 Indy Lights race. That's at Mazda 18 lap event. Again, 40 miles with one pace lap. We'll talk about our other Class 3 series here before we start to get wrapped up here. We are rolling right through Speed Weeks. Our other Class 3 series that we have is the biggest late model race in the late model sportsman division of the season. It's the big one, the Permatex 100. We got qualifying. That's going to start up about 6:20 Wednesday night. That's at Daytona International. Remember, the regulations are a little bit different this race for those cars. Comfort medium tires, 500 horsepower. Let's talk a little bit about the late models, guys. You guys always put on a good show at Daytona, especially with the new package.
Yes, they do. They really do. With this new package, I'll tell you, it brings on a whole new meaning to running these cars, because if you think you're just going to go out there and run and burn, good luck to you. Because we've got them packaged out to where two things can't happen. One, you're not going to run the bottom of the track the whole race and win. Two, if you burn them tires off without having the pits allowed anytime you like, you're not going to like where you're at in the end of this race.
Going on with how you are explaining that it's not just a run and go race. Last season, we actually had at one of our more seasoned and more veteran-like drivers run out of gas. They just didn't manage their fuel right. Now, I tell you, they ran a great race, but they did run up front the entire time, and that can take a toll on your car.
Yeah, if you lead almost every lap and you don't lift at all, you're going to be, right on the edge there running out. You ran out on the last lap. Obviously, if he would have sat back in the pack and lifted a little bit, he might have been able to conserve a little bit of fuel. But when you're right out front, obviously you can't lift. That's also a little bit of a strategy that runs into it. You can't, we're not pitting during the race. You can't change your tires. So a little bit of the strategy that you have to run into it is obviously, you can try and run up front, but like Carlin Hicks found out the hard way last season, you might not make it on fuel. That's kind of the strategy and the tactics built into the race, and it's been awesome so far. We're looking for another great race Thursday night.
That's true. Absolutely. And one more thing is the late model series in general usually gets quite a bit of attendance. Seems to be probably one of the most liked series.
Yeah, absolutely. So I highly recommend, that you make sure you throw down a qualify attempt if you want in one of these, because the at-large entries for these, sometimes there's just no room for them.
Yep. Make sure you go ahead and sign up for this SPL LMF push-pull qualifying with the big Sunoco symbol on it. Go in there and sign up for that. For Wednesday night, Thursday morning, Thursday midday, all perfect times to go in there and just run one lap, guys. Lay down one time lap, and we'll see if you get in the field and where you get in the field. That's going to be an awesome race, too. Again, our other Class 1 race. If you guys are big sports car fans, we've got the Camel GT Series. We had an awesome race last Wednesday on the Super Speedway. I pulled out the victory over J-Dog and Carlin Hicks. J-Dog pushed me to the victory. Awesome pushing job for him. But that's on the Super Speedway track. And those boys are going over Wednesday night racing on the road course at Daytona for the famous Daytona Continental. The qualifying races are going to be going up tonight at 6:20 p.m. Eastern Time. And you got to lay down a lap and make it into the drivers' meeting by 7 to secure your entry to this event. With the new cars that they got for the Camel GTs this season, real nice cars. They handle great. They got a bunch of power. These cars right here are Chevrolet Corvette Z06 C6 LM race car. Really a blast in the Daytona Continental. You guys, I don't know, Kip or Cole, you guys have ran it before. Maybe you're, last season was a different car that we ran for the GT series, so it's a little bit different this season. I think it's going to be a good race, though. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I expect real good racing. I expect actually a little bit better than last season. If this car is, it's more stable upon acceleration throughout a corner and throughout the exit of a corner. A little more neutral handling within the front steering rather than the LMP car that we used last season. And I think it'll make for better racing this season.
Yep, should be fun. It's always fun under the lights with those cars at Daytona for Speed Week. We're having an awesome Speed Week so far. I think we're rolling right on through Speed Week. Thanks for everybody that showed up so far. We're starting all of our points events. We've only had the one Winston Cup points event. So the carts aren't going to be for points this season, but our first Indy Lights points event is tonight. And Wednesday night, first points event for the Camel GT, and Thursday night, first points event, and so on for the late model and IndyCar series. So those are going to be really fun. All the non-points events, they still count towards your Class 1 license. We're going to keep track of them also, but obviously they're not for points. But if you do run those non-points events, you will get credit towards your Class 1 if that's what you're going for, getting into the IndyCar and the Winston Cup Series. Any final closing words from the panel here tonight?
Well, all I can say is I think it's going to be a really good season, especially with these non-points tracks that everybody likes. And it gives guys a little bit of a break to prepare for their real race. If they need an extra week to test and tune or to get their car set up, it really helps.
Yep, anything else, Cole? Final word?
Just excited for the new season.
Yep, it's going to be fun. A lot of new faces, a lot of old faces. Should be awesome time. And we're going to roll right on through here. Speed Week, get on some of these graded tracks. I know there's going to be a lot of fun too. Hopefully we'll see all you guys there. And not take up too much of your time. Thanks for watching today. This live YouTube broadcast. We got carts and lights tonight. We roll on through Speed Week. So for Kip Saul and Ass and Folio 123, I'm Johnny Benson saying thank you for watching this edition